What's up, YouTube world? This is Steven again. It is currently 8:51 p.m. on January 5th of 2020, and I would like to welcome you all to my 12th video game review. The Walking Dead, the final season for the Xbox One. Finish her story. In this gripping, emotional final season, your actions define Clementine's relationships, shape the world, and determine how her story ends. The Walking Dead, the final season, is a narrative-driven adventure where your actions and choices direct the story. So basically, this is a point-and-click game. You know, it's very, very slow-paced. So if you don't like slow-paced games, this game is not for you. But I thoroughly enjoyed all of the Walking Dead video games. There's 4 of them. I've played all 4 of them. I've beaten all 4 of them, and this is the final one of the series. So you play as Clementine, and you try to go after AJ, this infant that you meet in the second video game, where someone has to kill his mom off because his mom is turning into one of the zombies, and or one of the walkers, as they call them, and then you go off after the third video game to find him. You eventually do find him, and at the very beginning of this game, you're with AJ, and basically how the story goes is, and there will be spoilers, so, darn, I should have mentioned that at the beginning of this video, I'm sorry. There will be spoilers, though, so if you don't want me to spoil the entire video game for you, leave right now, and if you're still here, that's your fault. Alright, so, at the very beginning, you're with AJ, and you guys wreck your car, but you're rescued by these people who are fortified by a school, and the school is their fort from the walkers, and you get to meet all the people, people who live there. Some of my favorites, Tennessee was one of my favorites, or 10 as they call them. I didn't like Violet at first. I really didn't like Violet at first, but she grew on me as the story went on. She actually became one of my favorites. And after the first episode, AJ actually kills the person who runs the school, and then they eventually kick you out because of it. When they do, AJ gets shot by these raiders, and one of the raiders is actually one of the people that you meet back in the very first video game, and I forget her name, but yeah. You meet them, and then this person named James rescues you, but he doesn't want to kill any of the walkers because he finds peace with them, and he actually killed one person in his past, and he really regrets it, so he doesn't want to kill any of the walkers or anyone in general anymore. So he rescues you, aka Clementine, and AJ, and they heal up AJ's gunshot wounds, and they eventually have to go back to the school, and of course they let them back in, and they heal up AJ, and then they want to figure out how to get these raiders back, because they're going to be coming after the school. So they eventually go after the raiders' ship, and they blow it up and they sink it and everything, and then you're out in the middle of nowhere, you got nowhere else to go, the walkers are attracted by the explosions that happen on the ship, and you have to pretty much get away from all of them or dodge their attacks and stuff like that. So you eventually end up in a cave with Tennessee along with AJ and Clementine, and then you eventually get out of the cave, and you go back, and once you go back, there's Tennessee's sister, who actually ended up with the raiders, tries to get him back, and Tennessee listens to her because, well, it's his sister, and he eventually gets bitten by one of the walkers, and one of the people, I forget his name, he had dreadlocks though, but I forget his name, tries to help Tennessee get away from his sister, even though he got bitten already, and AJ shoots Tennessee before Tennessee gets bitten, and then Tennessee gets eaten up by the walkers, and the person with the dreadlocks, like I mentioned, jumps over the bridge to escape from all the walkers, and he goes, but AJ and Clementine are left to find another way out because they're behind this fenced behind this fence pretty much, and they end up climbing up one of these rocks, but lo and behold, before they could eventually get all the way up the rock, Clementine, the person you meet in the very first game, gets bitten on the leg. You know what that means? They turn. However, later on in the game, not too much later, they're in this barn surrounded by all kinds of walkers outside the barn. And AJ gets an axe, and the way I did it was I chose to kill Clementine. However, he decides what he wants to do, and instead of killing Clementine, he actually chops off her leg where she got bitten. And that means it can't spread. The infection or virus can't spread because he chopped off where she got bitten. So it can't spread to the rest of her body. So she can't turn. And eventually they go back to the school, and when all is said and done, the game is over. So yeah, it's a pretty short video game based on length. I mean, it's slow paced, but it's pretty short based on length. There's 4 chapters, or 4 episodes as they called it, and I really like this one. Is it my favorite of the series? I would say no. I mean, it was a really, really good game, but I would say no. I would say the very first video game was my favorite of the series, but I would say this one was probably my second. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, The Walking Dead the final season is getting a 4.5 from me. Great game nonetheless. Just wish that there was a little bit more to the story, but I mean, great game nonetheless. I gotta keep looking through all my video games and see what other games I can review, but that's my video game review for today, The Walking Dead the final season. If you liked what you saw in this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and comment below, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. This is Steven, signing out.